Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're diving into a genuinely incredible story from the architecture of resilience. We're following a guy named David. He started out with this massive dream, got absolutely crushed by defeat, and then, well, he flipped the script and built a massive, life-changing empire. It's the kind of story that completely rewrites how we think about setbacks. So let's get into it and look at how success is actually built from the ground up. Okay, picture this. It's the absolute peak of David's career. His company is a total powerhouse, right? Employs thousands of people, creates products that have literally helped millions. And he's sitting across from a reporter. The reporter leans in and asks the million-dollar question. What's the secret of your success? I mean, we all want that, right? That one golden ticket, the ultimate life hack that guarantees victory. But David's answer? It's definitely not what you'd expect. To really get what he means, we actually need to rewind the clock. So let's go back to when David was just 22 years old. Now, this wasn't just some casual side hustle. He took a massive leap of faith and poured every single penny of his life savings into a small business. We're talking late nights, early mornings, totally convinced he was on the verge of making it big. But just 1 year later, the whole thing crashed and burned. He lost his money, he lost his confidence, and for weeks after the collapse, he literally just stayed home totally defeated. Honestly, he was ready to throw in the towel for good. And the hardest part? It wasn't just the money. It was the crushing doubt. People close to him actually started saying things like, maybe you're just not meant for this. Think about how brutal that is. You've just lost everything, and your own friends and family are basically validating your absolute worst fears. It's heartbreaking. Those words cut him deep, completely isolating him and pushing him right to the very edge of walking away from his dreams forever. Section 1. A walk in the park. The turning point. So trying to clear his heavy mind one evening, David takes a walk through a local park, and he spots this old man trying to fly a kite. And while it was not going great, the kite kept nosediving, just crashing into the dirt over and over again. But the crazy thing is the guy never got mad. He never quit. He just calmly picked it up, made a little adjustment, and tossed it back up. David just stood there, totally mesmerized by this relentless cycle, until finally, out of nowhere, the kite catches a perfect gust of wind and just soars into the sky. David is super curious at this point, right? So he walks right up to the guy and asks, "Why didn't you just give up?" And the old man's response? It's just brilliant. He says, "Because every failure taught me something about how to make the kite fly." I mean, wow. Really let that sink in for a second. The old man wasn't just blindly failing. He was gathering intel. Every crash wasn't a defeat. It was fresh data. He was literally learning the exact aerodynamics of the wind, the tension, the balance, all from those mistakes. Those words hit David like a ton of bricks. He realized, in that exact moment, he had the whole concept of failure completely backwards. Failure is not the opposite of success. Actually, scratch that. It's more like the absolute foundation of it. It's an essential part of the journey. Once you wrap your head around the fact that you literally cannot succeed without first extracting the hard lessons from your failures, the way you look at obstacles changes forever. It's a total paradigm shift. So David didn't just have a nice little aha moment and go back to the couch. He took immediate action. Step 1, he sat down and ruthlessly studied his past mistakes, treating that failed first business as pure data. Step 2, he went out and learned the specific skills he realized he was missing the first time. And step 3, armed with this completely new perspective, he started another business. He got back in the ring. Now, let's be real. It wasn't like his second attempt was suddenly magically easy just because he had a better mindset. Not at all. He immediately ran straight into brutal rejection, severe financial stress, and just countless new obstacles. The path was still wildly difficult. But there was one massive difference this time around. He absolutely refused to quit. Every single setback, it just gave him more data. It made him sharper, smarter, and infinitely stronger. Section 2, the mountain of failures, eventual success. And that brings us full circle, right back to that reporter's question. Remember? What's the secret? David just smiles at the reporter and says, "My success was built on a mountain of failures. Every time I failed, I learned something valuable. If I had quit after my first failure, none of this would have happened." It's such a powerful realization. His massive empire wasn't built on a foundation of getting everything perfectly right. It was built on a literal mountain of mistakes that he refused to let destroy him. You know, we constantly buy into this total myth. The idea that people who achieve great things are just these flawless geniuses who never fail and have absolutely perfect track records. But as this explainer clearly shows us, that's just nonsense. The reality is the exact opposite. The people who achieve the impossible are simply the ones who never stop trying. Every incredibly successful person has failed, usually way more times than anyone else. The only real difference? They kept moving forward when everyone else packed it in.
The ultimate takeaway from David's story is that true success always comes after failure, but only if you refuse to stay down. Which leaves us with one final, crucial question for you. When things get incredibly tough, will you keep moving forward when others give up? Next time your kite crashes into the dirt, what are you going to choose to learn